Now at 9, how a Southeast Kansas Police Department is going above and beyond to help families in need this Christmas. Plus, Freeman Health System hosts a ceremony to honor graduate nurses. And we examine a bill intended to give a pay raise to Missouri teachers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe. A commercial building in Columbus, Kansas is heavily damaged after a fire. First responders arrived. A commercial building on fire at the corner of Garfield and Railroad Street. Fire crews encountered heavy fire and smoke, but managed to put out the fire. They stayed for another hour to extinguish all hot spots. No injuries were reported. Newton County authorities issue a warning after some residents have been targeted by scammers purported to be from Publishers Clearing House. Here are some things you should know. PCH does not call ahead when you have won. It also does not require payment for you to receive your prize. These scammers will try to convince you have won a big cash prize and a car, but make you pay them a fee via gift card. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it turned out to be a chilly day for us today, but not bad across the region. Our temperatures, we did go into lower 50s, pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year. 53, 51 is the average. It started at 35 during the morning hours. Cooling off, lower 40s now. We'll back down into the mid 30s later on tonight. We actually do have a weak little cold front that is heading in. Clouds increasing. Northern counties, you can see a few light little showers and sprinkles. These are going to rotate through as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. So we are going to have some clouds, a few random little sprinkles will clear out by morning, 43 by 10. Overnight low tonight, 35. A little bit cooler for us tomorrow, plus we'll look at our next chance for rain or snow, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thanks. Drivers in Jasper County can expect some delays in the following week. Beginning Sunday the 10th and running through Thursday, MoDOT crews will replace some structural signs. Northbound Route 249 to northbound Route 171 ramp to Webb City will be closed during nighttime hours, and one lane will be closed on northbound Route 249 to southbound Route 171 ramp to Carthage. Construction times will take place from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Be alert for MoDOT workers and message boards. The Neodesha Police Department is partnering with Toy Box to help make a difference in the community. In addition to the Toy Box partnership, the police department adopts a family for the season. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
We all need help every once in a while, whether it be during the holidays, whether it be cold weather. We got groups that do coat drives and everything else, and we just try to do our part where we can and when we can.
The Neodesha Police Department doesn't just partner with KOAM's Toy Box to help kids in the community each holiday season. The department also hosts a fundraiser that benefits a family in need.
Since we've been doing this, we've raised over $3,000 and have donated it to public. Sometimes some years are slower than others. We can donate sometimes to a couple of families out there, and then sometimes it's just one family, depending on how well the fundraiser goes.
Although toys might be on the children's minds, Police Captain Sam Tomlinson says this donation is for other items.
We decided to go ahead and go with the gift card because you don't know if they need the electricity or do they need food or do they need this. So it's just easier to go with a gift card.
Captain Tomlinson says this is possible because of the support from the community. Reporting in Neodesha, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
This is the 6th year that the Neodesha Police Department has raised money to benefit a local family. If you'd like to donate to our Toy Box campaign, you can do so through our website or by scanning the QR code on your screen. You can also tune into noon, 5, 6, and 9 o'clock newscasts tomorrow and donate during our telethon. We'll have volunteers standing by to take your donations over the phone. Please give what you can to help make sure every child in our area has a Merry Christmas. Newton County today honored its long-term employees. The county recognized 17 employees, each with at least 5 years of service. This is a state award from the Missouri Association of Counties. Officials say it's important to appreciate all the hard work of our county employees.
Appreciate our employees, every one of them, but every 5 years we do an appreciation deal for the people who've been here 5 years, 10 years, 15, and 20. Our longest one this time was 25 years. We had one of the officers, sergeants, whatever, from the Sheriff's Department that had been here 25 years.
This ceremony was held at the Newton County Courthouse in Neosho. 2024 could be the year some Missouri teachers get a boost in pay. Members of both the House and Senate filed bills to raise the state minimum to $38,000 a year. Chris Bryant has reaction from the Missouri State Teachers Association.
We've certainly said that we need to have a starting salary that is, and actually a starting salary that's above $38,000, and that needs to be in statute.
Now lawmakers in Missouri are trying to do that. Two bills, one in the House, the other in the Senate, both want to raise starting pay.
Currently, the minimum teacher salary is $25,000 in the state of Missouri. This would increase that minimum to $38,000.
Teachers in the state who have a master's degree and at least 10 years experience would see their base pay rise from $33,000 to $44,000 with increases the following years. Both Arthur and Fuller say teachers in the state need more support both in their communities and in Jefferson City.
We need to have that local support in community-wide and then also statewide as well.
It has to be a priority. It has to be the district's priority, and it has to be the priority of the state legislature.
Getting a bill through both the House and the Senate is only one hurdle. The State Teachers Association says Missouri is competing with neighboring states and other careers when it comes to recruiting.
If we don't have competitive salaries, then teachers are going to find other opportunities and other positions, other things that they can do in the state. And time has already shown that they're going to be able to get those jobs because they're great employees.
While larger districts may be able to absorb the added cost of a mandated higher salary for teachers, smaller districts could have difficulty meeting that higher salary.
It does create a fund that the state legislature could appropriate funding into, and then schools would be able to draw down to help cover some of the costs for those hard to fill positions.
The General Assembly is set to start on Wednesday, January 3rd. Freeman Health System today recognized the hard work of some graduate nurses. Freeman hosted a signing day event to honor 27 nurses. They've all completed 2 years of schooling on their way to becoming licensed nurses. Many of the nurses already work for Freeman with plans to move to higher positions once they're done with school.
So we truly love all of the people that we hire, but of course hiring a nurse is amazing because they are going to be the ones that you're going to see mostly whenever you come to Freeman. So they're the ones that we love to hire. They play a big role as long as others that are in the health system, and so this is just one thing that we can do to celebrate them.
The graduate nurses come from 3 area nursing programs: Crowder College, Carthage Technical Center, and Fort Scott Community College. Coming up, the Supreme Court takes on a controversial settlement.
The Supreme Court heard arguments today over a nationwide settlement with the makers of OxyContin. Billions of dollars are at stake for families who lost loved ones to opioids, but some say the money is not enough. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington with this story coming up.
With the holidays approaching, a new survey at The Ohio State University finds many people will lose track of their healthy habits. 2/3 of those surveyed say they will eat too much, while almost half will exercise less. Health experts suggest sticking to a normal routine as much as possible while giving yourself some grace on certain days. Nobody wants a sick child for the holiday season, but the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say respiratory illnesses among children in the U.S. are up, especially for kids under 5 years old. However, experts say what we're seeing across the country is indeed manageable. Mike Valerio has more.
After a huge surge of respiratory viruses in the winter of 2022, pediatric hospitalizations for those illnesses now are ticking back up. Despite the trend, Dr. Scott Hadland, a pediatrician in Boston, says he is not concerned by the numbers.
I would say most pediatricians and public health officials that are keeping an eye on this are not worried right now.
Health officials in Warren County, Ohio, said last week the area saw an outbreak of pediatric pneumonia cases. Respiratory virus activity is especially high in the southern and western U.S., but Dr. Hadland says
the pathogens or the viruses and bacteria that are involved in these infections are ones that we see every year. And so we might be seeing higher than usual rates, or we might see some areas that have small outbreaks of these, but this is standard and this is quite expected and this is all very manageable.
Meanwhile, China is experiencing a higher than usual rate of respiratory infection right now, which is causing some concern. But the head of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Mandy Cohen, says the surge is all related to existing viruses.
We do not believe this is a new or novel pathogen. We believe this is all existing, meaning COVID, flu, RSV, mycoplasma.
In terms of fighting back, for the first time ever, vaccines are available for all three of the major fall and winter respiratory viruses. They are flu, COVID-19, and just approved this year, vaccines for RSV. In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, NEO basketball looks to continue its hot start to the season, taking on Arkansas Tech. We'll have highlights in sports.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a decent Monday for us today. We had quite a bit of sunshine and our temperatures right about where we should be for this time of the year. Looks pretty good for us right now. We have partly cloudy skies. Nice shot, Cornell and Arts and Entertainment Complex. This is our tower cam downtown Joplin, looking off toward the north and to the east. But it looks pretty good. We are going to get some clouds in here as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures mainly upper 30s to lower 40s. 41 in Anderson. We have Stockton 39. We have Veneta 41. We have Parsons sitting at 42 degrees in a cold front, a weak one. But a wind shift line. It's just to our north and to our west. The air mass behind it, it's not much colder, but what it will do is switch our winds around out of the northwest, and they will start to pick up a little bit as we go into the morning hours for us tomorrow. 41 feels like 34 with a south wind at 10. It's been a little breezy, and these winds are going to be a little gustier by the time we get into the morning hours. Northwesterly winds at about 10 to 20 with gusts upwards of about 25. They calm down tomorrow evening and then pick back up again on Wednesday, but the other direction, that's going to help us warm up a little later in the work week. All right, outside, have some clouds, even have a couple random light little showers and sprinkles kind of dropping in to our northern counties. Most of these aren't even reaching the ground, but don't be surprised if you get a random shower or a couple sprinkles as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Big ridge of high pressure out to the west. That's our weather for the rest of the week, which is going to set us up to see a pretty good trend by the time we head into Thursday and even into Friday. All right, let's go through time. Clouds pass through tonight, random showers or sprinkles, and then back to clear skies by morning. Mid-30s, northwesterly winds, so it's going to be breezy. And we'll warm into the mid to upper 40s by about the noon hour, and most of us will top out about 49, 50 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, a little bit colder. We drop back mid to upper 20s, and then as we go into Wednesday, a little bit warmer southerly winds, so this will pop us up into the mid to upper 50s for highs. So we're going to start to warm up. In fact, we'll go into the 60s by the time Thursday rolls around. 37 in the morning, 48 noon, and 4 high temp of 49 for an afternoon high. Here comes that ridge later this week, helping us warm up. And then behind it, so let's go to late Thursday into Friday. Here comes a stronger storm system. It dips in, rain and snow chances across Central Plains. We're going to be talking more about that in our second half hour. All right, 49 for us tomorrow, 56 on Wednesday, 62 on Thursday, 58. Rain chances increasing on Friday, and then possibly a wintry mix to kick off the weekend on Saturday.
All right, well, sounds good. Thanks, Doug.
All righty.
Coming up, attacks on international waters.
Strikes on commercial ships are raising the stakes in the Red Sea, forcing the U.S. Navy to respond. I'm Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. I'll have the details coming up.
Santa's little helpers are getting some extra hands this holiday season, so hopefully everyone gets their gifts on time. Shipping carriers like FedEx, UPS, and the U.S. Postal Service say they are ready to handle this year's peak season after adding various new technologies to their warehouse. The new upgrades at various UPS warehouses include new scanners and automated vehicles to help sort and transport packages throughout the facility. Stores are shaking things up when it comes to their return policies this holiday season. A survey by GoTRG, a return service firm, shows 59% of retailers have taken on a new return policy. The changes have been dubbed as returnless or keep it policies for unwanted consumer products. Many retailers have adopted technology to root out excess cost, which has led to more keep it policies for specific online purchases. Amazon is helping some college students get home for the holidays. The company is offering 3,000 of its Prime student members domestic flights for the holiday season for just $25. It's in partnership with Student Universe. The discounted flights will become available at 9 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. 1,000 flights will be offered each day for 3 days. Members who miss out will be able to get a promotional code worth $25 off flights. If you haven't already bought your Christmas tree, you may want to soon. The American Christmas Tree Association is sounding the alarms on rising prices. They say it's going to cost you 10% more this year. Fox Business correspondent Kelly Saberi is at a Christmas tree farm in Illinois with more.
I'm in Spring Grove, Illinois at Richardson Tree Farm, where they're seeing an increase in many costs, and that's contributing to the increase in the price of real trees this Christmas season. I'm joined by Robert Richardson, one of the owners of Richardson Tree Farm here outside of Chicago, to talk about what's contributing to these prices. Tell me how much prices have increased and why that is.
Well, any business, the big part of that is going to be the labor, and that's gone up every year. And then all the things that we have to buy also, which is, food and fuel and fertilizer and everything else that goes into it. And so as our prices go up, we have to raise the prices to our customers also.
What has demand been like?
Demand's been very good. It's always been very strong. We can't keep up with the demand, which is kind of a nice problem to have. So we've had to go out and we've brought in extra trees from northern Wisconsin and some from North Carolina to help meet that. But a lot of people are still looking for a live tree, and that's what we tried to help.
How many have you sold so far? What are you expecting to end the season with? What number?
Well, we're pretty close to about 6,000 now. We had 4,000 the first weekend that I know of. Black Friday, we sold not quite 2,200 trees just that one day. So we're probably in the neighborhood of 6. I haven't counted for this last weekend yet, but things will taper off quite a bit now. So we'll get 6,500, maybe a little bit more than that for the year.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Robert. If you're looking for a real tree this year, you might expect a small increase as you do your shopping. In Spring Grove, Illinois, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
Up next, if you've ever wanted to live like old Saint Nick himself, Airbnb is offering a listing just for you. Airbnb wants to host one family in the North Pole. Well, maybe as close as you can get. The company is giving away 3 nights at a cabin decked out in Christmas decor in northern Finland. And just take a look at this winter wonderland. They'll even be supplied with elf attire to help get into the holiday spirit. It's the latest theme adventure stay Airbnb has been offering, like the Ghostbusters Firehouse and a Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. The Supreme Court hears arguments on the controversial bankruptcy settlement for opioid manufacturer Purdue Pharma. Plus, the U.S. shoots down 3 drones officials say were attacking ships in the Red Sea at the command of Iran.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy. The Supreme Court spent nearly 2 hours this morning hearing arguments over a controversial settlement. If approved, the deal would provide billions of dollars to combat the opioid crisis. But the Biden administration says the deal doesn't go far enough and requested the highest court review the deal. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
I just don't want to see other families go through what my family has gone through.
Outside the Supreme Court, relatives who lost loved ones from the opioid crisis gathered in protest, many demanding justice for those lost.
We have to hope that the Supreme Court does the right thing.
Inside, the justices grappled with a challenge made by the Biden administration, questioning the legality of OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma's bankruptcy settlement. While nearly 60,000 victims support the deal, others say if approved, it unfairly lets the Sackler family off the hook, shielding them from the possibility of more civil lawsuits.
If this bankruptcy settlement is approved, they are forever shielded them, and that's an abuse of the bankruptcy process.
Purdue Pharma's lawyer Monday argued a ruling against the plan would take a wrecking ball to the bankruptcy code.
Creditors and victims will be left with nothing, and lives literally will be lost. Nothing in the code commands that tragic result.
The DOJ maintains the deal would illegally extinguish the rights of people, aiming to sue those who made a fortune selling the prescription pills.
They were guilty of sin. We all know that.
A ruling is expected by early summer, but no matter the outcome, many of the victims' families want the Department of Justice to bring criminal charges against the Sackler family. Outside the Supreme Court, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Special U.S. Climate Envoy John Kerry this morning announced the United States' commitment to phasing out existing coal plants and not building new ones. The Biden administration also pledged another $3 billion to the Green Climate Fund to help transition off of coal and other fossil fuels. The administration's new pledge is raising concerns among coal miners who say it's a threat to their livelihood, with tens of thousands in the industry already out of work. A U.S. warship shot down 3 drones after commercial ships were attacked in international waters. The White House says the attacks were enabled by Iran. Fox News Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has more on the U.S. response to escalating tensions in the Red Sea.
The world's focus is on Gaza, but assaults on commercial ships in the Red Sea have the U.S. Navy on alert. On Sunday, U.S. Central Command said Yemen's Houthi rebels launched 4 strikes toward 3 ships in international waters.
I think you're seeing a persistent escalation. The United States is trying to balance what we're trying to balance throughout the region ourselves.
The USS Carney shot down 3 drones coming from Houthi-controlled parts of Yemen, according to CENTCOM. Now the U.S. is weighing its response, and it's not alone. The 3 commercial ships were connected to 14 different nations.
15% of global shipping flows through the Red Sea and through the Suez Canal. My understanding is commercial ships have been struck, that our ships are responding to protect that international trade, and then they have been targeted.
Central Command says there's one country to blame, saying, quote, these attacks, while launched by the Houthis in Yemen, are fully enabled by Iran. Iran has not claimed responsibility for the strikes. This week, the State Department is sending a special envoy to the Gulf to quell the rising tensions.
We do not believe that all 3 of the ships had ties to Israel, and it goes to show you the level of recklessness that the Houthis are operating on any ship they shoot at.
A U.S. official telling Fox there were no injuries to the crew members on board the commercial ships. At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
A bit later, why a new contact sharing feature on iOS devices is causing concern among parents.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good, lower 50s, which is right where we should be for this time of the year. And we have partly cloudy skies out there right now. Temperatures, they have been slowly dropping back, at least over the past couple hours. And we are going to get some clouds which start to rotate in, but a nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam, of course. Downtown Joplin looks pretty good. All right, temperatures, we're sitting upper 30s to lower 40s, 41 in Stockton Anderson a little bit cooler at 38, 37 in Grove. Pittsburgh at 42 degrees. And we do have at least a weak front just to our north and to our west. This is going to slide in over the next several hours. It doesn't have much in the way of cold air behind it, but it will give some clouds, maybe a random sprinkle, and it will switch our winds around as we go into the morning hours. So we're going to have those gusty northwesterly winds at about 15 to 20, upwards of 25. So a little breezy. The winds calm down tomorrow evening, pick up again Wednesday afternoon, but out the other direction. But what that does for us is warms us into the 50s and 60s on Wednesday and also on Thursday. So cooler tomorrow, warming back up Wednesday and Thursday. All right, some clouds rotating in, even a few light little tiny sprinkles. Don't be surprised if you see a couple drops. Most of us will stay dry as this front pushes through. And then if we look out toward the west, we have a ridge of high pressure. That's going to roll in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, giving us a pretty good stretch of weather. All right, let's go through time. Random sprinkles next couple hours. We clear out by morning. We drop into the mid-30s. By the noon hour, we're going to stop at noon. Most of us mid to upper 40s, and I think most of us top out at about 49 or 50 degrees, partly sunny skies for us tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be colder. We drop back mid to upper 20s. It's kind of chilly across the region. Then as we go into Wednesday afternoon, southerly winds work in, and this helps our temperatures warm up a little bit more, as most of us will go into the mid-50s for highs. All right, day planner for you on your Tuesday, 37 in the morning, high of 49, 48 by noon, dropping back to 48 by 4 p.m. Let's go toward the weekend. Here's our next bigger storm system. It rolls in, so here's Friday afternoon. Rain starts to spread in. By Friday evening and Friday night, showers and thunderstorms, especially Joplin South. Some of those storms could be strong. Look at the snow, central Kansas. Rain continues all the way into Saturday morning, and then we'll have to see where is that rain-snow line as this system passes on by Saturday afternoon. So that's the next bigger system that we have to watch over the next few days. 49 tomorrow, 56 on Wednesday, 62 on Thursday, 58 on Friday. Wintry mix Saturday, and then the first half next week looking pretty good.
Certainly looking forward to those warmer temperatures later in the week.
60s are going to be nice.
I know. All right. Thanks, Doug. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get a severe weather update sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Last month was reportedly the warmest November on record. The Japan Meteorological Agency reports that November 2023 beat the previous record set in 2020 by 0.3 degrees Celsius and was 1.6 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial temperatures. November also marked the 6th month in a row of record global average temperatures. Coming up in sports, we have post-game reaction from the Chiefs' loss to the Green Bay Packers on Sunday night. Plus, the NEO men's basketball team looks to stay undefeated at home. Brock Balderidge has the highlights and more.
The NEO men's basketball team is off to a terrific start to their season. The Golden Norsemen are 10-2 entering non-conference play, and tonight they get another home game. Tonight, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M is home against the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys. First bucket of the game belongs to Trayvon Bird with a nice layup there. So still in the first half, NEO up by 3, and Bird goes one-on-one to get the bucket. Now, here's where the game really opens up. Golden Norsemen are up by 4 points, and Ronyo Obu for 3, yes. Very next possession, Obu again, same spot on the floor, same corner, knocks it down, gets it nothing but net there. So once again, Obu is really heating up. Just keep giving the ball to him. For his third straight three-pointer, he got it. Golden Norsemen lead it by 13 points. NEO goes into halftime leading 57-28. So we head to the second half now. Obu, the nice pass to Caden Carter, who gets the slam. Golden Norsemen never look back in this game. NEO goes on to win big, 116-70. And girls high school basketball tonight in Southwest Missouri. The McDonald County Lady Mustangs are home taking on the Shiloh Christian Saints. Lady Mustangs win tonight 56-43. The girls team improves to 4-1 on the season. Meanwhile, the McDonald County boys basketball team, same opponent, same gym. This game is still in progress, finishing out the last quarter. At last check, it's the Mustangs who lead 46-44 at the end of the third quarter. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs have now lost 3 of their last 5 games after Sunday night's loss to the Green Bay Packers. Chiefs now fall to 8-4 on the season. The Chiefs fall to the Packers, where the offense only scored 2 touchdowns in last night's game. Patrick Mahomes went 21 for 33 with 210 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And despite several controversial calls down the stretch, the Chiefs felt that they still had a shot to win that game.
We made too many mistakes. But they played they had a good game plan, played a good game. Jordan played great. But at the end of the day, you make too many mistakes, and against a good football team, you lose. It's hard. It's a hard job, man. So it's not. When we're in that situation, I can't be wanting a flag. I have to try to go out there and win the game myself and with the rest of my teammates.
Listen, the Packers, I thought, did a great job tonight. They got after us, and so against a good football team, we've got to be able to start faster, and so on both sides of the ball, we've got to make sure we take care of that. So whether it was the penalties on offense or whether we weren't getting off the field on the defensive side, those were things that cost us.
Well, there's already been a lot of movement in the transfer portal for Division I college football so far. On Monday morning, the Oklahoma Sooners starting quarterback announced that he has gone into the transfer portal. Sooners have to find a new quarterback for next season, as Dylan Gabriel has announced that he has entered his name into the transfer portal. Gabriel comes off a year where he was first team All Big 12 quarterback. Gabriel in 2 seasons with the Sooners passed for 6,828 yards and 55 touchdowns. So, we talked about earlier off the set with our news director, the transfer portal, what is done to college sports. Absolutely. Lots of changes here and there.
It'll be interesting to see how that affects more of the colleges in the 4-state area, especially Pitt State. They've already, they're getting a new coach. So
that could be a big, players coming, going. So lots of changes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll be right back after this. If you're an Apple user, your phone likely has a new update, iOS 17. It includes a new feature to easily share contact information. But this new feature has some parents worried about keeping their children safe from strangers. Recent social media posts claim the feature is automatically turned on and that anyone can get your information. Marina Silva reports.
Often have families or a parent or a grandparent that call us and ask about internet safety and things that they should be watching out.
Kara Gerdeman is the executive director of Kids Harbor in Osage Beach. She's a parent herself and says keeping up with the internet safety can be difficult. But deputies say don't panic.
I don't think there's a major cause for concern for this update, but it is indicative of a larger problem, which is that as parents, a lot of times we are willing to overlook the possible safety of our children when it comes to internet usage and phone usage and social media usage because it's inconvenient and it causes some strife.
He says this recent news should remind parents to always be checking their child's phone.
The reality is if you are the adult in that child's life, then you have the adult responsibility to make sure that they're safe. This is all there is to it.
This feature on the iOS update is called Name Drop, and it's really easy to turn off if you want to. Go to Settings, General, click AirDrop, and then go to where it says Bringing Devices Together and slide it over to Off.
Our technology is advancing at such a rate that a lot of parents and grandparents can't keep track of that technology. So it's important for us to take some breaks once in a while, learn a little bit about these systems that you're using and that your kids are using.
Gerdeman says one of the best things to do, have a conversation with your kids.
It's important to have conversations, open conversations often, and they're developmentally appropriate.
As we mentioned earlier, even if you have name drop on or select contacts only, you still have to give each person permission to get your information. If you do turn it off, you might, while you're in settings, check your other apps to see if you're sharing your location. Sometimes that could be turned on without you realizing. That includes social media apps like Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat, and even dating apps like Tinder. Coming up, we'll learn about a new movie that reunited Pulp Fiction co-stars Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson. The final adventure of an iconic archaeologist and a coming-of-age classic are among the new digital DVD and music releases available to add to your home library. Fox's Ashley DeVorkin runs down the list of what's new in home entertainment.
I'm retiring.
A hero archaeologist rides to the top of what's new in home entertainment. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is the fifth and final chapter in the beloved long-running franchise. Harrison Ford reprises his iconic role with co-star Phoebe Waller-Bridge playing his goddaughter. The duo team up to find a legendary dial that can change the course of history.
What's the artist's name?
Bagman.
Pulp Fiction co-stars Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson reunite on screen for The Kill Room. The comedy crime thriller follows an art dealer who teams up with a hitman and his boss in a money laundering scheme that accidentally turns the assassin into an art world sensation.
Spring break!
Yeah! Rob Schneider produced, directed, and stars in the family comedy adventure Daddy-Daughter Trip. He plays a broke inventor who takes his daughter on a road trip to make her spring break vacation special.
I read a story online about a girl who went missing playing the elevator game.
A teenage boy searches for his sister who disappeared playing an online challenge in the horror film Elevator Game. The 1986 coming-of-age classic Stand By Me is available on a limited edition 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Steelbook. It follows four young friends on a life-changing journey to find the dead body of a missing boy.
It's like riding a bike.
Small screen favorites available to own. Season 2 of the Paramount Plus sci-fi drama Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And for music fans, pop artist Tate McRae releases her second album, Think Later. In Hollywood, Ashley DeVorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. We'll leave you with a video of red pandas at a Brooklyn zoo. Thanks for making us part of your night.